Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network.
TFG Football is an IVM production, and you can also check out their other awesome shows like Drinks and Destination, a handy guide to the world of wine, spirits and more, along with a dip into travels around the world.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Hello and welcome everyone. It's a new day, a new week, and this is another episode of the TFG Indian Football Podcast. And joining me in the studio, as always, is Kevin, and joining us via phone call is Chiranjeet. Now, before we move on talking about all the ISL respective signings, we shall talk about, because Chiranjeet is in Aizawl, and he was present at this match, the charity match that took place between FPAI 11 and Mizoram 11. Chiranjeet, why don't you share a bit of that? 2-2 draw. Did it look like a fight, or was it just like a treat for the fans? Okay, let's just draw the match.
Yeah, it was held for the victims of the Mizoram floods and landslides.
Yeah.
It was a match between Mizoram 11 and FPAI 11. So FPAI 11 featured a lot of national team regulars who present and past, and so did the Mizoram 11, like Deepak Mandal, Subrata Pal, Sandeep Nandi, Gaur Mangi, Jackie Chand, even Baichung played for a bit. Baichung actually turned up on the day of the match. First half he watched from the stands, then he suddenly changed and went in and came on for 20 minutes in the second half. Michael Chopra was playing for FPI, and so was Alfred Jarian. So it was a pretty much of a who's who of Indian football. Even for Mizoram 11, JJ was there. We had others as well, Isaac and Shiloh Mama.
Yeah.
Mama was a big time crowd puller there. So we had to basically, the best, almost the best of Indian football, who turned up to support the cause, and it was also the FPAI awards day. During the halftime, the awards were given out, and you can check out on our website who won the awards.
Yeah.
The game was, from just purely from the footballing point of view, it was so interesting to see Mizoram 11 dominate FPAI, and this is I'm pretty sure the FPAI 11 had 3-4 times the international experience in its roster than the Mizoram 11.
Yeah.
Okay, and I tried a former Premier League player like Michael Chopra out there, but they got ransacked, okay? And towards the end, it was Baichung and Satyasen who scored 2 quick goals in the within the last 10 minutes. And this of course, this was a friendly exhibition match, and people wanted to see Baichung score. It's a bit dubious how they were given so much leeway and so much room inside the box to just stroll in and put the ball inside the net. But everybody knew it was. The first 70-80 minutes were properly competitive, and Mizoram 11 just dominated, which I think is probably one of the best advertisements for Mizoram football itself yet. A club from Mizoram like Aizawl FC winning the I-League, which makes a huge statement, obviously. But they had players from outside as well. They had foreigners. They had the likes of Ashutosh Jayesh, who were coming from Mumbai, and this was just the Mizoram players. So many of the players were just from Mizoram Premier League and the Santosh Trophy team. Yeah. And they did so well. Michael Chopra, you can still see he's got that touch, exquisite first touch. He was, the ball was reaching his teammates even before the teammates were realizing the pass was about to come, because nobody really does a first touch pass like that in Indian football often. Yeah. But he got beaten by sheer pace. He was shut down, and in the second half he came off. So that's what actually showed. The Mizoram team looked like it was close-knit. The players had better chemistry, and they were really fighting their heart out.
Yeah.
And of course, there were quite a few fouls and stuff. I think the number of fouls went up after the announcers said that for every yellow card, the player has to donate 1,000 rupees to the flood relief. And suddenly, the Nutai, this wonderful referee, she's one of the best female referees in India. She was officiating in the YMA inter-branch final that I had the privilege of attending a few days ago as well. And right after the announcement happened, she started flashing yellow cards everywhere. So, quite a lot of money was raised from there as well. The Mizoram 11 players as well, they chipped in a lot of money, and they presented it to the Chief Minister. There was a joint donation from FPAI and Mizoram Football Association, who put together 1 lakh each and gave 2 lakhs to the Chief Minister's fund for the relief. And plus the gate sales were, given over. And Arun, who you know on Twitter as Arun Foot, he was hosting the award function, and he was mentioning that this time we decided to do the awards on the pitch so that we can save the money of constructing a stage.
Yeah.
So all of that was pretty much a nice touch, and it was a pretty brilliant afternoon for everybody to enjoy.
Well, that's how it is, right? When you come for a cause, when everyone just joins their hands and come towards a cause, and then that happens through a sport like the beautiful game, everything seems to be good and in good hands. Well, hopefully, it'll be some of the relief to the people in Mizoram, and hopefully they had a smile on the face for some time at least on that Saturday afternoon. Now let's get back to our signings that we have, and the first and the most signing that we had was in a very interesting and a very animated way. Bengaluru FC announced that they will be retaining the services of course, their captain Sunil Chhetri and Udanta Singh. Now we'll touch upon one by one. Let's talk about this first. A great thing and no surprises here, right, Kevin?
Two of the best performers for Bengaluru FC, best and consistent as well. Udanta wasn't 100% fit throughout the entire season, but then whatever he contributed, he just cannot be neglected.
He was a Mr. Flash on the field.
Of course, and that's what got him to the national team as well.
Yeah.
One of the most prominent young players to look out for in the Indian team, and the way he's gelled in this Bengaluru star team, there was absolutely no doubt that he had to be retained. There was a chance that Chhetri was a target for many clubs and the ISL teams. So that was a dicey situation. But then Bengaluru without Sunil Chhetri is just half team absent.
Yeah, Chiranjeev, your quick thoughts on this?
So first of all, I will never ever get comfortable with the term retention. Like, what do you mean? As if it's a special privilege. If it's your player, you had him last season and he wants to stay, you want to keep him, that's a contract extension. That's what happens in normal football clubs. That's the right way. And here it has been turned into this caste system where two players get this privilege of being signed normally, where they can negotiate, others get lumped into a draft, which is just pathetic at this point. The thing is, of course, they went for Sunil Chhetri, a 3-year contract extension for both Sunil and Udanta. I think the second choice was a lot of it took a lot of thought for them to do, and I'm glad they went for Udanta. Somebody who's still developing and is probably going to reach his full potential in 3-4 years. He's going to become even better.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they thought about keeping Eugene Lindo a lot, Bengaluru FC, but it was a bit of a maybe what trumped was Eugene's recent form, and towards the end of the league he was not as good as he probably was in last season. So all that played into the decision. And Eugene Lingdo is now being quote-unquote retained, which is basically normally signed by Pune City.
Yeah.
You'll see like all this language flying around that Pune City are retaining Eugene Lingdo, but he's a Bengaluru FC player who is now signing for Pune City. That it's a move from one club to another. That's what it is.
I think Lindo would have. I don't think he would have been on the top of the list considering form, and the age is also not on his side. He's 30 right now, and having Chetri and Lindo in the team wouldn't actually make up for what Bengaluru FC have been for so long. They have been known for picking up younger players. But yes, it's an entire squad to be picked as yet. So it was all about having those two core players in the team.
Right.
So Udanta is a good choice.
Yeah, it's a good choice, and one of the only humane things about this retention limit bullshit that ISL have is that under 21 players you can sign as many as you want. Basically, it's given Bengaluru FC, FC Pune City, those who have an academy squad or lots of young players in their team, they can keep those players and continue to develop them. So Nishu and others will not have to be thrown into that draft chopping block. So that's the only saving grace here. So Bengaluru FC, it may look like they will be losing a lot of players and have to rebuild their team, but they actually have quite a lot of their really good players who are under 21, and they will be staying with the club.
At least 3 of the under 21 players will be there with them.
Yeah. Now, since we mentioned about Lindo being signed by FC Pune City, the other player that they've signed is Vishal Keth. Now, we saw how he was instrumental for Shillong Lajong. He was like the silent guy who, was up there doing his job, but nobody really spoke about him. But he deserved a lot of limelight there. And how do you see this, Kevin? Under Antonio Habas, do you see him getting a chance, or do you seeing him developing over there?
We are seeing a trend over here that goalkeepers are being in the spotlight. Even before the actual draft comes in, goalkeepers are the ones who are being picked more frequently than the other players, because what happens is when you have less number of foreigners on the field, you add that spot to a foreign goalkeeper, it becomes up for foreigners in the outfield then. So it makes it's a proper choice to have an Indian goalkeeper who's a good shot stopper and has proved himself. So Keth is a good choice, but I'm not sure if he'll be the number one for Pune City.
Saranjit, on the same thoughts, will he be the first choice keeper for Pune City?
We'll see. He should be. I think he has been improving a lot over the last couple of seasons, and he's more or less ready to take charge of a team like FC Pune City. But who knows who else will be signed. And about one thing about the goalkeeper situation, we have a lot of young talent that are coming up, and what happens is that with a position like goalkeeper, you don't really see the clubs doing too much experiment. Okay, it's like you have somebody who's doing the best. He gets most of the league games. It's not like and they are less likely to get injured during a game. So you don't see that kind of rotation happening, and goalkeepers don't have to spend that much stamina, so they can play more regularly than other players as well. So what this happens is that in ISL, in I-League, you have just these few number of your Devjit, your Subrata Paul, your Amrinder, who are always there, and they are being preferred by ISL teams, I-League squads as well, and the others who are the Pawan Kumar, the Shilton Paul, or whoever it is, Soram Porey, who have been dethroned from the big hot seat basically. They spend most of the season on the bench, and now that you have ISL, I-League running concurrently, a lot of new goalkeepers will be needed to play a major spot
Yeah.
And this is where Vishal Kaith has a little bit of an advantage over these other players. Like, let's say Soram Poirey, we are hearing he's been signed by Mohan Bagan. He's going to come to Mohan Bagan. So, see, that is him probably getting back the number one spot after a long time, because Pawan Kumar is not being retained. Shilton Paul has gone to Mohammedan Sporting, and Devjit Majumdar, we are hearing he's got a 1.3 crore offer from Atletico de Kolkata, 1.15 crore offer from East Bengal, and 1 crore offer from Mohan Bagan. So Mohan Bagan have more or less, I think, understood that Devjit is not staying, although he has not signed for anybody yet. That's probably going to happen Wednesday.
Okay.
We are hearing that ATK has already got Devjit, but that will probably happen, but he has not put pen to paper yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so see, these few goalkeepers who have a lot of experience behind them and are reliable, they will command a lot of price. And don't be surprised if a lot of these quote-unquote player retentions, they turn out to be goalkeepers. Okay, because they just need that stability. And for Vishal Kaith, it's a good step up. Devjit, obviously, Atletico de Kolkata are desperate to have him because he's popular. People will turn up to see him play. So that's what it is happening. The other guy being retained by Atletico de Kolkata is probably going to be Pritam Kotal or Prabir Das. Both Mohan Bagan players, and both are from Kolkata, and both have a lot of fans among the local populace. So that's what they're going for. They're trying to build up their own identity around these players, and they're not taking any chance. They're going to throw money at them and keep them.
Just a quick point about goalkeepers. So Vishal Kaith, Albino Gomes were also part of the recent national team call-ups. Yeah, national camp call-ups, sorry. So it really increases the value, and I was there for one of the practices, a couple of practices that I seen them at Andheri, Andheri Sports Complex. So that really adds up to the experience. Just being in the camp. It's not that you get to play for the national team as soon as you're part of the camp, but it's a whole learning experience. What happens in the camp is given to all players, but only what is missing for the guys who don't make it to the national team is the game time. So the training is common for everybody. So this will be up for grabs. Albino Gomes again, he will be in demand. I won't be surprised if we hear him being pulled by one of the top spenders here.
Yeah. Now, looking at that, now we mentioned about Devjit, but coming back to this man, Amrinder Singh, even he was signed with a record deal by Mumbai City FC. No surprises there as well, but how do you see this, Chiranjeev? Do you see them? I mean, last season he couldn't play much. So what do you make of this Amrinder Singh to Mumbai City FC?
Yeah, well, but Amrinder Singh will probably get more game time because he's coming with a little bit of extra experience.
Right.
At Bengaluru FC, he got to play some AFC Cup matches. So that adds to his whatever stature he will be given by any coach. And Mumbai City are doing the right thing by going for him, because see, the draft is a wild card for everybody. Nobody knows who the hell is going to be picked by who. Okay, and if you get a rotten luck, like I need a side back, and there are 3 side backs on the draft pool, and before your turn comes, 3 teams pick all those 3 side backs, then you are done. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right. And you can try and sign a foreigner and fill up a side back position if you can take a gamble there, but you don't really want to depend on a foreigner at the goal, as Kevin said. So goalkeepers, Indian goalkeepers are going to be super hot commodities this season, and it's not just that. We are actually seeing I-League clubs like East Bengal and Mohan Bagan. I think those are the only 2 clubs who are spending big in the league at this point. They are also ready to throw money. And it's not like whoever is going to those clubs are making much less.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they will be making more than, these particular few players who are going to those clubs who are high demand, they will be making more than your regular draft player.
Right.
Okay, so it's you can call it a mess, you can call it like good that, even more clubs are fighting to sign these few players. It's a bit weird, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because players have to juggle between the prospect of a draft and an open signing, or I-League and ISL, which league will be better for their profile and all that. And most of these contracts are just for 1 year. So depending on where they play, who they play against, will mean a lot when they look for a contract next season, in 2018-19. So it's a very loaded transfer market, and players will have to decide between too many things at this point.
Yeah.
So is this the draft that's there only for this season, or it's just going to be ongoing? Are we not sure if it's going to be an open market next season? Because I read some reports saying the draft system might not be there next season around.
Yeah, and the draft, this is probably the last draft we will ever see. But, the reason I said it's a bit of a mess is because, maybe, a Neroka or an East Bengal or a Mohun Bagan will give a player more than what they can make in an ISL draft. Okay. And, they may choose to play in an I-League club. But if ISL is being given a bigger weight, that if you're playing in ISL, you're seen as a better player, then next season, maybe the player just would want to play in ISL even for less money, just to get that profile, higher, so that they can land a bigger contract next season. Maybe if they play in I-League, they will not make that much money next season when everything is open.
Right.
So See, there's so much of this is in what ifs and perceived values of leagues, of clubs, of the clubs those clubs play, and the kind of teams they have, and the kind and the way the two leagues may be perceived by fans, by agents, and by teams next season. It's all up in the air, and these are uncertain waters that everybody unfortunately has to navigate for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Now coming back, and that's all for today's transfer news, but I think this will be continuing because as we are approaching towards, we more or less know that the simultaneous leagues will happen, and so the clubs are getting busy signing their players, so we will update you with all of that, and we'll talk about it more, and other news as well that's happening in Indian football. Now follow TFG Football Twitter handle to keep yourself updated about everything. You can also read about all these stories on our website, thefangarage.com. You can also talk to us directly on Twitter, Chiranjit Oja, Boza_Kevin, Suju Matthew 94. Have a great day, folks, and do the honors if you're listening to us on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get updates of our new episodes, and leave your comments. What do you think about all these signings? And have a great day. Enjoy the show. Come back to us tomorrow because we're a daily show. Bye.
That was Tantrik Steve from Hansraj College, Delhi, performing at IIT Bombay's Mood Indigo. Just like them, there's a lot of new talent and art coming out of colleges all across India, but unfortunately most of this goes completely unnoticed or ignored. To fix this, we started ATKT.in. Hi, I'm Ankur, I'm a musician and a rapper, and I found that one of the best things about being an artist myself is finding new talent. Through ATKT.in, Tanya, my colleague who's a dancer, and our whole team really is putting all of our efforts into discovering and promoting all the coolest talent that's coming out of colleges all across India. And this goes up on our website, our social media, TV, radio, and now, of course, this podcast with IVM. Make sure you go to our website, support the talent with your likes, your shares, your comments. All of that really matters. Go ahead, check it out. ATKT.in.
Excuse me, भैया एक्सक्यूज मी,
बोलिए मैडम।
मेन्यू में क्या है?
मेन्यू में सीन अनसीन है, पॉडकास्ट है, ऑन कोर्स है, साइरस है, मेर इन इंडिया, रीडिस्कवरी प्रोजेक्ट, एम्पावरिंग सीरीज, सेक्स वैक्स है, IVM लाइक्स है, सिंप्लीफाइड है, कीपिंग इट क्वियर है, ड्रिंक्स एंड डेस्टिनेशंस है, माय नेबर जकरबर्ग है और द फैन गराज है। आपको क्या चाहिए?
एक बार रिपीट कर देंगे क्या?
रिपीट नहीं करता हम। आप जाओ IVMpodcast.com पे और सुनो ये सब, या फिर डाउनलोड करो उनका ऐप, सब आपकी उंगलियों पे।